Good morning. Who felt the new moon yesterday? I sure did. This new moon is in the sign of Sagittarius, and it offers us an opportunity for play. Good morning. Who felt the new moon yesterday? I sure did. This new moon is in the sign of Sagittarius, and it offers us an opportunity for play. It offers us time to let go of maybe what's been holding us back. Maybe we just put it aside for a little while and find things to bring us joy and excitement. Sagittarius is a fire sign, and it's got a lot of energy and excitement going on. Sagittarius is the archer, and they really protect the community in a way that others could not, because their weapons were not as far reaching. There's a lot of passion and a lot of excitement in the sign of Sagittarius, and we want to kind of start bringing that into our lives in this new moon period. Yesterday I pulled an Archetype card, and I got the ring. Now, this archetype symbolizes infinity, a wheel, and connection. The ring is an image of connectedness, rather than viewing life as linear, as a series of progressive achievements. The ring challenges us to sense the cyclical, infinite nature of our world. Beginnings and endings fall by the wayside as we practice seeing ourselves as part of the cosmic circularity of creation. For this reason, it is no surprise a ring is worn on the finger to represent eternal love that surpasses time, space, and worldly things. So much can be projected onto this archetypal image because it mimics the Earth's orbit around our sun and the intimate bond between two lovers. It is the micro and the macro united. This card calls us to deepen connection with self, other, and the world at large. When light, we feel connectedness, humility, and we engage in sacred cycles. When dark, we may experience unconscious repetition, like, why do I keep responding or reacting to this situation the same way over and over and over and over and over again? Why do I keep drinking at night? Why do I keep doing X, Y, and Z? Why do I keep drinking more than I want to? Why do I keep taking these substances that don't make me feel great long term? If it's not what I actually want to do, why do I keep doing it? Starving for connection. And there's two opportunities available to us right now. We know with the archetype cards, there's a light and a dark. There's always a positive and a negative. And it's part of the reason why I love the archetypes, because we can recognize, even if I'm operating from a dark space right now, even if I don't feel connected, even if I feel isolated, this is an opportunity for me to figure out, how can I shift my perspective? How can I shift my responses, or how can I shift my reactionary self into a space where I have time to respond to situations and to people and places and things? Take stock of the jewels that you adorn yourself with. Watch out for rings you wear out of habit that keep you connected to the old you. I love that this is not just talking about wedding rings. If you know my story, you know I've had several wedding rings and only one marriage. And for whatever reason, The ring did not keep us connected. It didn't matter what the ring looked like. It didn't matter how many iterations of rings we tried. It didn't keep us connected. And why was that? Well, possibly because both of us had intentions for the relationship that were not communicated. And if you're not aligning, you're probably separating, right? Magnets either or repel. It's one or the other. Study images of the mandala and the medicine wheel. I didn't do either of that, but I did do a practice of creativity. Now, if you've been following my channel for a little bit of a while, I have been focusing this last month specifically on encouraging my creative practice. I have told myself in the past that I'm not a good artist, that I can't draw. However, I'm looking to shift that concept in my mind. And so I came together with this cute little image to help us understand this archetype of the ring. So here in the center, these are our rings, okay? This is me. Maybe this is my root, and going out from there as I become who I am, that's going to different experiences, shape my life in different ways. And then you must be conscious of caretakers. How do they intersect with my circles? Now, mind you, for the first 18-ish years of our lives, our caretakers are incredibly involved all the way to our center. And what is going on in their circle is going to affect the emotions that we experience, the reactions that we express, and whether or not we have time to find a response instead of acting reactively. And the reason why I colored this part on the outside dark is because this is unknown to us. The circle of our caretakers, the only part we truly know is the part that intersects with us. And even then, we don't know it in their authenticity. We know it as we understand it through our lens of our mixed emotions. This right here, true self, true emotions, maybe we're the only ones who understand how to express that. Maybe we need to focus more on expanding this so that as we grow older, we are less and less influenced by the caretakers who have their own shit to deal with. Just because we've become a parent and raised the child does not mean that our life is perfect. It does not mean that we've reached any level of top. We're still going to have shit. We're still going to have generational trauma from our past generations. And this is not our business. Believe it or not, it's not our business. It's the great unknown. That's their business. So then, as we go on in our life, we move on to our community. These are the chosen people that we want to bring into our lives. And we recognize they too are going to intersect, maybe not all the way to the root of who we are as a person, but they're going to intersect pretty closely because our heart is very connected to our root. And so if we feel connected to someone and we want to bring them into our space, it's likely that we're going to have reflective traumas or we're going to have reflective life experiences that bring us together. So here again, we have some mixed emotions. This is the only part that is our responsibility. And if we find ourselves in reactive spaces over and over and over again, and we can't figure out why, it's probably a good time to return to the self. What are my core values? What are my core beliefs? The circle also represents the zodiac. Everything in this universe relates to a circle. It relates to a cycle, and nothing is permanent or forever. So we recognize the most important thing I need to do is be cognizant of myself, my cycles. What causes reactions in my life, and how can I shift that to a response? How can I find space in myself, in my center, so that I can include people as I have space, instead of continually feeling obligated to my caretakers and to my community because of these mixed emotions. Not all of this is mine. Not all of this blue space is mine. It's mixed. So how do I know how to take the next step? I come back to mine. Because again, in our community, all of this is unknown. And it's not our place to know it. It's their place to know it. I hope you enjoyed my little chat on the ring archetype. And I'm going to bring up, this one's kind of ugly, okay guys? Like, I'm still learning. I tried drawing mandalas. I'm not such a good mandala drawer, okay? It's maybe not my gift. I'll keep working on it, and maybe I would have done better if I looked at other mandalas first, or tried to find some inspiration. But no, I just decided I was going to try it all on my own. So point being, this circle in the zodiac, Malachi, we're going to go in just a minute. Calm yourself. Because the ring represents the zodiac, we're talking about internal and external forces. We're talking about understanding where we're coming from, and also understanding where other people are coming from. So we understand that right now, during the Sagittarius new moon, it is a great time to focus on play. However, be mindful that there might be other people in situations that have a higher level of drama or anxiety in their life, and maybe for them this is a dark new moon. Maybe for them they have their bow drawn and they are ready to let loose some arrows. So be mindful while we are seeking to encourage play and to bring in an atmosphere of youth and light. Hold space for those who are not ready. It's okay if they're not ready right now. Maybe they'll be ready later. I think it's so important to recognize that while circles are, yes, the basis of who we are, right? We have circles that are constantly going up and back down. Up and down. Up and down. That's why we cannot ever become satisfied at a plateau, because that's not the end of the road. I think it's also very important to recognize triangles here, because we have this triangle of us and our community reaching towards God, and then we have God and the community reaching down towards us. And how are we balancing that? Are we focused more here or more here? Are we giving too much? Do we need to take a little bit more? And recognize that within these triangles, within the triangles of relationship, we will continue to cycle through that our entire life. It's not ever going to end. This was my favorite little mandala that I drew. I don't even know what it is. I don't know what it is. But it was kind of funky and I liked it. The last thing. Come here. Come here. You see him? Say, Mommy, I need a walk. Mommy, I need a walk. I need to go outside. I need to go outside. Okay, the last thing we're going to say is that circles include our thought patterns. So it's important that if we're finding ourselves in a stuck space right now in this Sagittarius new moon, and maybe it's really dark, recognize that's my thoughts. And I have power over my thoughts. Not only can I redirect my thoughts, but I can use my external voice to rewire the thoughts happening on the inside of my voice. That's a pretty powerful thing to recognize. So maybe today we start shifting the conversation by saying, I am here to play. I have every right to enjoy my day as I see fit. As long as I am conscious of the feelings around me, and I do not seek to force levity, I just bring it from my heart. Man, I'm gonna be popular today. People are gonna want to spend time with me because I'm already coming to the table with joy and levity and releasing resentments for any people, places, and things that have let me down in the past, because I recognize that is not all my shit. Sure isn't. And the only thing I can focus on is my shit. I love you. Happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. And if you don't celebrate, ain't no judgment from me.